Good morning, folks. Yeah, and happy Saturday to each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me for the November Coffee Talk with Nate live chat. It's October was it was an interesting month. I would say both in Canada and stateside. For us, we had the on October 21st, we had our election for our federal election. And the outcome's not quite what people were looking for, is what I'm hearing. But at the same time, it's a democracy. This is why we vote. This is why people come out, cast their vote, share their voice. The whole process, I'm a fan of the entire process. I'd rather be able to go out and know that I can vote on my own accord than have somebody try and speak for me. And here in Canada, we had Thanksgiving. Pretty awesome. I don't know how it was for everybody else, but for myself, it was pretty wicked. We had a really good time, great spread, and just lots of just wonderful fellowship. So it was absolutely lovely. Now the big one, of course, just happened a couple of days ago. October 31st. For us, Samhain. For the rest of the world, Halloween. Halloween is awesome. Halloween is like my favorite time of the year. And that's saying a lot because I'm also, as grinchy as I may sound, and especially in this presentation, I really do enjoy Christmas. I love Christmas. I love Yule. But I mean, Halloween and Samhain is just such a great time, and I get so excited for it, and it's just like everything leading up to it, beyond just costumes and just, the kids are out trick-or-treating. There's, this year, trick-or-treating with my kids had this immense sense of community since we moved somewhere new. So it's been, I didn't know what was going to happen, I didn't know how it was going to be, but it turned out being like really awesome, like incredibly awesome. So I'm so glad that we moved to where we did. In the Glen Rosa area of West Kelowna. The people out here, amazing. The homes were decorated, outstanding. Kids running around, really polite, like they all seemed to have their manners. Adults, nobody was being a jerk. It was awesome. I loved it. And it came and went, which means that now we're in November. Which means that whether we like it or not, there's another holiday that is now creeping into our existence. Fueled by candy cane spice and Mariah Carey's All I Want Is You for Christmas. Michael Bublé is slowly creeping out of his cave, dusting himself off and preparing for the onslaught that he shall give the world, which is smooth Christmas jazz. We can't avoid it, folks. It's coming. And that doesn't mean that we have to fully embrace it right now, but it means that we definitely need to be prepared for it, because I don't know what it's like for the rest of the world, but here in North America, Canada and stateside, before Halloween even hits, stores have already started putting up a ridiculous amount of Christmas decorations. For example, I walked into a do-it-yourself home reno big box store that I won't name specifically, but for the entire month of October, my son would come with me, and the first thing he would want to do is go check out the Halloween stuff. Halloween stuff had been moved to where closer to the paint department because they were now making room. This was the last week of October. They had already set up Christmas trees and decorations and lights, and I understand it's a business and I get that. Whether you recognize it or not, though, there's on this emotional level, we're already gearing up for another holiday when one hasn't even happened. And here in Canada, we have a holiday that we recognize in November. But there aren't as many people that talk about it, which is kind of sad. But I'll talk about that in just a second. No, forget it. I'm going to talk about it right now. November 11th is a very important holiday. One that some people choose to recognize or choose not to recognize. And to each their own. But I will say this. In this household and to a lot of friends and family, it is a very important holiday that we can't lose sight of. Our world does not go from Halloween to Christmas. There's a gap in between. Stateside, I know that they have their Thanksgiving, and I know they have that god-awful Black Friday extravaganza that goes on. But we all just seem to jump from Halloween to Christmas. And it doesn't have to be like that. And at the very least, you can ease yourself into it. And there are ways that you can get around that. First thing that you want to do is you don't... Well, first off, I'm going to say this. Take the time on November 11th, if at the very least, at 11 in the morning, stop what you're doing, and just take a moment of silence. And if you don't even know what I'm talking about, Google it, because there's a reason why we do that. There's an extremely important reason why we take that moment of silence. And it's not just because people don't want to hear me talk anymore. It's very, very serious, and we take it very seriously in this household. And schools here in BC, Remembrance Day, it's a holiday. Kids are out of school. People are off work. It was not like that in Ontario. So it really kind of threw me for a loop. I'm not complaining. I think it's a wonderful idea. And it gives the month of November that proper... Somebody just popped up. Where's my poppy? My poppy's on my jacket, actually. I can't wear it inside because dog and kids and pokey metal things. But yeah, I make sure that I'm repping that poppy the moment that I'm outside. Same goes for the kids and for carrying on. Like we're doing our part. But yeah, November 11th, you want to make sure that you take that moment. If it wasn't for the fact that we take this moment, I mean, honestly, on emotional level, we just be like, okay, we finished Halloween, now we gotta totally go like full on for Christmas. December is stressful. November doesn't have to be. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what I really want to focus in on. So after November 11th, pay your respects to Remembrance Day. I believe in the States it's Veterans Day. And, just take that moment. If you see a veteran, if you see anybody who's spent time in the armed forces, thank them for their service. Whether we agree with all the military action that has happened over the years, still take the time to thank them for their service. I'm as politically minded as I am. I still have a level of respect for our military and for those that are involved in it. And for me, I kind of like the fact that I can look to prepping for Remembrance Day instead of just mentally being like, oh my God, I got to get ready for Christmas right now. So November does not have to be that super stressful month. You can break everything up in stages to prepare for the holidays. And we also have to remember, Christmas is not the only holiday. And I'm going to save that conversation, though, for December. So we're going to put a pin in it. We'll come back to it in December, and we'll talk about that. Now, we're hit with this onslaught of advertising. We're just hit with this mess of messaging from businesses, from corporations, from everybody who's out to make some cash off of the holidays, that it's now, you need to do this now so that you can relax in December. But it never actually happens that we end up relaxing completely in December, because there's so much that goes on in that month. So for November, take a breath. Just, you got through Halloween, enjoy it, enjoy that moment, soak it up like a fine wine, and just take your time. if you're the type that needs to be super organized, look at your calendar and just pick one day out of the week. And I would suggest, honestly, start planning after November 12th. All right? Just trust me. After November 12th, start to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to host any parties? If so, how big? Think about all the people that you might want to get gifts for. And think about a budget. That's the big killer for a lot of folks, is that they get stressed out over the amount of money that they spend putting into the holidays. And it's not just gifts, it's entertaining, it's meal prep, it's travel for a lot of folks. Those are things that, at the end of the day, that's all happening in December. So for November, take the baby steps. Take your time. Honestly, take your time. Even for Christmas shopping, you don't need to do any kind of Christmas shopping really until I'd say the last week of November. That's like the sweet spot, because it's not super crazy like it is in December, but you're also not trampling on what's left of Halloween and trying to get all your goods and wares in right at the beginning of November. Because again, November does not need to be that Christmas month. It doesn't need to be that crazy shopping month. It doesn't. I've learned from previous Christmas and holiday excursions that you don't need to bust your hump trying to get everything done all at once. Break it up into increments. Break it up into smaller little steps. Food doesn't last forever. So food would be, if you're doing any kind of meal prep, that's the stuff you're going to pocket and just kind of put aside for December. If you're entertaining, honestly, think about this. A good host, first off, a good host does not get tore up from the floor up. A good host is able to remain sober. So if you are purchasing alcohol for any kind of entertainment, parties, cocktail parties, whatever, understand that you'd be getting that for your guests. And even then, there's nothing wrong in this day and age to say BYOB. And even better, why not just turn it into like a potluck? More people feel happy to bring food than they would, booze. And we're looking at a millennial generation that doesn't do a lot of drinking anyway. So why put that kind of pressure on folks and just be like, hey, let's just sit down and have a solid moment to eat. But that's all stuff, again, that can wait closer to the actual date. Your Christmas gifts, you don't need to, honestly, right now, you don't need to do any of that. And I'm going to come out and say this right now. Black Friday, and this might tick off some people, Black Friday doesn't actually provide any actual sales. There's no major deals. This has been, it's going to sound like a little conspiracist theory, but it's true. What major businesses tend to do, they slowly beef up the price of whatever item that they want to get people purchasing. And then when it's Black Friday, they'll bring it back down closer to the original sales price. But people go in thinking, I got this crazy deal. And you're not really saving all that much money. If anything, you're going in risking a black eye and a broken arm for what? A TV or a game system, or for God's sakes, like t-shirts? And and somebody's like, yeah, we're also not American. I hate to say this though, Canada does have Black Friday sales. And they're not as crazy as they are that we see on the news as stateside, but some of them have gotten a little ridiculous. And it's not just here either. I have friends in the UK that have shown me video footage of Black Friday being set up. And if it's not this mass, crazy, like, in-store fight, it's the idea that we're all accepting the fact that this is just another big business celebration sales gig that we need to be a part of. You don't have to. Really, you don't. if you think about, if you want to break it down to think about the people that are near and dear to your heart, and what would make the most sense for what they would need, or what's something that they were asking for. And even then, price limits, there's nothing wrong with that. But this is the time, November is the time where you can just take your time and slowly put that all together. You know, I've seen people that they take down their Halloween decorations and then they're immediately putting up Christmas. And I'm like, okay, not my thing, but to each his own. But then they're also stressing out about how to get ready for December. And I'm like, you have the entire month. Everyone has enough stress in their life. We don't need to add extra. You don't need extra. I don't need extra. You know, all related to a single holiday that's essentially 2 months away. So just breathe. Take a moment. Sit down. I assure you could probably get everything planned out in probably less than an hour. And then you can look back to it and say, okay, so on this day we're going to take care of this. Or this week we're going to take care of this. This week we're going to take care of this. So then you have time to catch your breath. So you have time to actually enjoy yourself and the time that you have to yourself, or the time that you have to hang out with friends or family. Like, it does not need to be this super stressful, you know, just insane situation that we seem to put ourselves into. So, I mean, like, just consider that. Just breathe and enjoy taking your time. And if somebody's like, oh, you don't have this yet, well, that's their thing. You focus on you. You focus on your stress levels. You focus on keeping yourself calm. Because, take it from me, when you're stressed out, the whole world sucks and you don't feel motivated to really kind of move forward. Or you just end up pushing yourself, and then you just burn out. And then you are useless for December. Useless for December. So you don't want to do that. So plan it out. Take those steps. If you're going to mark it on a calendar, mark it on a calendar. If you're already feeling stressed out, there are some great stress release activities and exercises that I could send to you. And if you're ever in a position where you need a little helping hand to be like, I'm just feeling anxious, what can I do? There are a number of people that have, and a number of different venues that you can take. If you're into yoga, go to yoga. If you're a gym rat, go to the gym, burn it off, sweat it out. If you're not into either of those and you just need some things that maybe you can do when you're while you're at work or like at home, and you just want to take like 5 minutes to yourself, then there are breathing exercises that you can do. There are simple meditations that you can also throw into your daily life. And I'd be more than willing to send some of that information to you. If you need, you can email me or message me through Facebook, through this group, and I will totally help you out. It would be my pleasure. But yeah, just remember that we don't at any point need to fall victim to the trap of all the advertising and all the sales pressure that's going to be coming. If it isn't already there, it's on its way, trust me. And just take a moment to just recheck yourself and just be like, you know what? I do not need to stress out over this. I do not need to worry about this right now. I don't need that negative pressure coming into my life. Everything will, there might be moments where you're still stressed out and you're feeling like freaked out. Everything will fall into place. But just right now, take that time to just break it all down so that you can see your steps, so that you can see what you need to do, but not stress out over it. Just plan, and then just breathe. That's all we got to do. It's as simple as just taking a breath. And you'll find that you're able to walk through November especially not nearly stressed out as maybe you have in the past. And if you're already worried about December, don't worry. We're going to be talking a little bit about that in the December live chat. But if you're really feeling super, super anxious, or if you just need somebody to talk to, reach out to me, or you can even bring it to the group, and then we can work constructively as a group to help each other out. Because we're all in this together. If you're a part of this group, chances are good that you either have kids, or you work with kids, or you have children in your life on some level. So you already know the stress that can come along with little individuals, tugging on your leg and wanting to jump in head first into the Christmas season, or I should say the holiday season. So, folks, I'm here for you. I wanted to keep this short, and I'm just seeing comments of, regarding the poppies. If you need photos of my poppies, dude, I will send them to you. Don't worry. And yeah, just take the moment. This is the month where you can, again, just plan everything out that you need to. Don't stress out over it. And just take your time. I'm here for you. I'm going to let you go. I got to get some coffee into my life. Got to make that happen very, very soon. And again, if you ever need to reach out to myself or to anybody in this group, don't be afraid to. I welcome it wholeheartedly, so that we can work on any issues together and constructively. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I will see you in December, where we will further discuss the holiday season and what we can do with our part in it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, many blessings. Blessed be.